My name is Jack Hollingsworth, and I'm here to give you some tips on travel photography. You can see right here, before I deep dive into some of the equipment that I use, for those of you that follow me know that even though I currently have a love for mobile photography, it's not an either or choice for me, it's an and both. I still shoot with my DSLR and I supplement that with my iPhone, in this case the iPhone 5. The very first thing that you're going to need, and again I'm going to deep dive into some of the devices or the equipment that I use while I'm traveling. In this case I'm in India, but I could easily be in Austin or Chicago or Los Angeles or Miami and be carrying the same thing. Everything you see on the table, including the tripod and the multi-mount, goes into my super cool f-stop bag. And you'll see me wearing this if you watch any videos of me. That's pretty much how I look. You know, that's kind of how I get all this stuff in there. Just like that. It's from f-stop gear. This is a killer bag. I love this bag. And it's probably one of my most favorite bags that I've ever used. Now, all kinds of zippers, pouches, it's super cool, it's accessible from the back, and you can see that it's compartmentalized with these cool compartments that I basically stick in my bag. So I have 2 or 3 of these, depending on what kind of shoot that I'm doing. In this case, I'm shooting both DSLR and my iPhone, so this thing is packed full. Stick it in there, stick it on my bag, and I'm off to the races. Because I shoot with both my DSLR, in this case a Canon 5D Mark III, and an iPhone 5, this is probably one of the key pieces of gear that I use over and over and over again. It's a VANGUARD tripod with a VANGUARD multi-mount. The reason I use this multi-mount is so that I can shoot both my iPhone 5 and my DSLR of the scene. Shooting here like that, I look at it, I go, oh, that's pretty cool, bang, oh, that's kind of cool. I get coverage of that with my iPhone and my DSLR. And I become literally a one-man band. Again, it brings a lot of attention, and I'm not naive enough to think that you'll go out and buy one of these things, but you might find it surprising that if you learn to shoot with both your DSLR and your iPhone at the same time, you're going to get some compelling, even extraordinary images. So again, VANGUARD tripod, multi-mount, DSLR, and iPhone. In addition to the tripod, the multi-mount, the DSLR, the iPhone, the thing that I probably use the most, again, when I'm shooting mobile, is a ZAGG or a Sparg battery pack. Here's the old one, and here's the new one. It extends the life of my iPhone probably I think around 200 to 300%. So under normal conditions, if I'm shooting the iPhone, particularly the iPhone 5, it gives me about 2.5 hours of full shooting, and then it peters out, battery's gone. So you're constantly going to be running to an internet cafe or your hotel room or a hostel where you're staying and powered up. I don't like to do that. I like to keep shooting. So I usually carry several of these with me, these auxiliary battery packs. Again, this is the old Sparg. This is the new Sparg. But you can kind of see right here, it has very conveniently 2 USB ports. So when my battery is low, I stick that in, I can put it in my pocket, I can power that up to the phone, and I am good to go. Again, absolutely critical, particularly if you're shooting the 5. There's 2 problems with the iPhone 5. Heat and battery life. Battery life is not that great. I think they missed the mark here just a little bit, and I hope that they improve that in the next iteration. But you're going to get about 2 full hours, and then you're going to need some auxiliary. Now, this is not the only battery supply on the market. The other 2 that I like a lot, but I do not use personally, are the Mophie packs, M-O-P-H-I-E. and another company, another manufacturer called New Trend. But if you're shooting mobile along with your DSLR, like I do, you're going to need 1, 2, maybe even 3 of these to shoot a full day's worth. This device is probably my current favorite. I love this thing. It's the mCam Lite, and I shoot it with my iPhone 5. This actually, you can see the iPhone 5 gets locked right into this aluminum case, and I am good to go. It's got a lot of cool things. This is an attachment LED light, which you can see right here. If I'm shooting in low light or like at dusk and I don't have enough light, I can supplement that light with my iPhone with a simple LED. Another cool thing about the mCam Lite is that it uses screw-on or 37mm threaded glass lenses, and these are pretty darn good lenses. I'm old school. I've been shooting commercial photography for the better part of 30 years, and there's just something good. There's something magical about glass lenses. I feel like I'm shooting, like I'm working, and you can buy glass lenses anywhere, eBay, Amazon, and they're really, really cheap. So I could buy off Amazon a 37mm thread. I could buy a series of macro lenses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10. I could buy a rotating polarizer that goes right over the 37 thread here. I could buy a neutral density grad, a fog filter, all the typical glass filters that you have used and loved in your DSLR work, now you can use here. In this case, this is 3 lenses combined. This is a 37 wide angle. So typically on your iPhone, let's say that you're shooting it without any attachments. The iPhone has a fixed aperture of 2.4, and it's the equivalent of shooting with roughly a 28, 29, 30mm lens. So that's basic wide angle that's built into the iPhone 5. When you attach this wide angle, it broadens the field of view or perspective, gives you a little wider, and it's probably the equivalent of, in the 35 world, of shooting somewhere between 16 and 18mm. So and it's good. It's glass. Try it. You like it. I was shooting at the Red Fort here in Delhi today, and it never left my hand. Big, broad views. It curves a little bit. Vignettes tiny around the corners, but it's a great piece of glass, and I think if you buy this thing, you'll love it. Again, it's the mCam Lite, and it's sold by a company called almlive.com. And again, this is an attachment rotolight that you can kind of attach and use as you need to. I have 3 different, in this case, 2 different ball heads that I use. This one's from Joby, little tiny one, which I can use with my Joby, my Joby tripod. Or I can use this heavy-duty Vanguard, which goes right onto my Vanguard aluminum carbon fiber tripod. And this allows you to swivel and move and do all those kind of cool things. So I always bring 2, heavy-duty for my DSLR, smaller Joby for my mobile. This is really kind of fun. I'm going to start with a bigger version. I say bigger because I'm going to show you even smaller versions. One of the issues with the iPhone by itself is that there is no 1/4-20. Look at it, it's thin. There's no 1/4-20, so you got to figure out, how do you get this onto a tripod? Well, the only way you can get that onto a tripod is that if you fit your phone, and it might be your Galaxy 3, or your Nokia 808, or any number of mobile devices, you're still going to need a way to fit that on your tripod. So this little tool is made by iStabilizer, and again, it just pulls up, so you can fit any number of mobile devices on there. See how it works? Like that. I can stick that in, pull this up, and I am good to go. Now I have a 1/4-20 on the bottom of my iPhone, which allows me to mount it right onto my tripod. And I carry it pretty much like this. I like it. Sticks in my pocket. I always know that a tripod is a 1/4-20 away, and it's pretty cool. So that's made by iStabilizer. And you can see I have one mounted to my VANGUARD multi-mount, and then because it's so critical, I always carry 2 extras of them in case one breaks, because it's I'm always looking to want to do stuff with my tripod. You can see here's another little smaller version of the tripod. I'll set that up for you so you can stare at that. This is manufactured by Joby. It's called a tabletop. Same principle. Pulls up. You can stick any number of mobile phones, and there you go. So we're going to the Taj Mahal tomorrow, for example, to shoot 2 days of sunrise, sunset, architecture, that kind of stuff. Can't wait for that experience. But they don't allow tripods in the Taj Mahal. So we need to figure out some way. We can't bring this in because it's not allowed. I can't bring this multi-mount, it's not allowed. So I think I'm going to see if I can get away with one of those two to bring into the Taj and do it. And again, it's a little tabletop. You stick your iPhone or your mobile device in there, boom, you're good to go. On the top, there's a 1/4-20, and then there is another 1/4-20 thread. So I could really take any number of cameras, in this case my iPhone 4. I really like this. It's really built really well. Grasp it, clamp it on, there it is. That's how it looks. And I can mount it like that, or I can even mount it like that, right onto my tripod. So that's ways to get your mobile device that's attached. Now check this out. This is really fun. You're going to really love this. This is called the Izzy gadget. It's a Kickstarter project. It's pretty new. It's a roulette dial with 3 different lenses, a telephoto, a wide angle, and a fisheye. So you just turn it. It's actually pretty ingenious. I like the red. It complements all the stuff that I'm shooting in India. The reason maybe you don't see it that much in the videos that we're making here in India, because right now it is only designed for the iPhone 4 and the 4S. So it goes in that casing, your phone goes in there, you're good to go. And as I said when I started this thing, I am just so enamored with the iPhone 5. It's faster. It gives you 2 full stops of light. It uses that A6 chip. It processes at lightning speed. It has higher ISO sensitivity. So once I got my iPhone 5, there was no looking back. So a lot of this stuff, a lot of these accessories are more built for the iPhone 4 and the 4S. And I'm hoping some of these guys on this table work pretty hard at making accessories that are iPhone 5 compatible. The iPro lens is probably my favorite attachment lens for the iPhone. Sadly, they do not have an iPhone 5 version of it yet. I hear that it's coming. So if you use their attachment lenses, you have to use it with the iPhone 4 or 4S. It comes with 3 lenses, a telelens, which is a 2x, a wide angle lens, and a fisheye. And it comes with its own nifty case. So if you're shooting video, you can shoot it like this. It's pretty cool. And it has a 1/4-20 on the bottom, so I could elect to mount it right onto my tripod if I wanted to for extra stability. This telelens is the equivalent of shooting, say, a 60mm lens. And this is the attachment lens of choice when I'm shooting portraiture. I'm hoping that I get to show you some of my work at Pushkar, where we shot hundreds of portraits over a 3 or 4 day period. and I used this thing quite a bit. Really, really nice. Allows you to fill the face without the exaggeration. Remember, without this, you're shooting portraits with a 28mm lens. And anybody that knows photography knows that you don't use a 28mm lens for shooting portraits, because as you get closer to the face, what happens? It exaggerates. It makes the face look funny. So this effectively doubles the focal length of the 28 into 56 or close to a 60, a bayonet threaded mount onto a special case, and it's like a short telephoto. You will absolutely love it. And again, telephoto, wide angle, fisheye. Here's another little cool case. Again, sadly, it's not meant for the iPhone 5 yet, but I understand that Gimbal is working on it. It's well, I don't have a tabletop, but it's basically you can do all kinds of cool things with it. Rotates that for, you know, if you're shooting panoramas. How cool is that? That's pretty awesome. Or you could use it for FaceTime, stick it down, talk to somebody, do Skype, all those kind of things. This is the gimbal. Again, stick your iPhone 4, your 4S in the case, and you're good to go. Of course, it comes apart, and you can use it as a portable tripod. I think I'm going to take this also to the Taj, along with this and this, and voila, I have 3 mini tripods that I have access to while I'm shooting the breathtaking and even spectacular Taj Mahal tomorrow and the next day. Yeah, for you geeks out there that are technology geeks, you are going to love this thing. It's made by the same company that makes this thing called the Eye Stabilizer, and it's a Wi-Fi enabled remote for the phone. So I can stick my phone into this mount right here. Right, I'm good to go. And I can be off here like this and just go click, 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 click. That's pretty awesome. I can keep my tripod away from me. I'm going to experiment. I think it's going to be fun. People are probably going to come up and look at this thing while they're looking at it. I'm 15 feet away going click, 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 and triggering that. Again, the Eye Stabilizer remote. Pretty awesome. Let me show you a couple of technology things that if you're a traveling photographer, whether it's DSLR or mobile or both, you're also going to need to throw in your kit. You can see I have a whole bag of universal adapters for power supplies, power strips, hotel rooms, offices, all that kind of stuff. I never leave home without any of this stuff. I brought my 5D Mark III in 3 iPhones. I brought my iPhone 5, my iPhone 4S, and my iPhone 4, the 4 and the 4S being backups. And last but not least, here's a cool little press pass that I made. Maybe perhaps a little disingenuous, but I've been using it for the better part of 30 years. It's not really a press pass, even though the data is accurate. I have my passport number, my driver's license, my legal address, where I was born, where my passport was issued, all that stuff. And then I just mock this up in Photoshop. You would not believe what this silly, simple little press badge has got me access to over the years. I could write a book. It really is amazing. So I think if you're out and about and you want to look credible and look like a photographer, that I suggest you mock up and make your own press badge. Well, that's it. We have a lot of work to cover over the next couple weeks. We're off to the Taj Mahal tomorrow to use all of this stuff you saw on the table. We come back. We're off to shoot a cultural event in Nagaland for, I think, a week, where 16 tribes are gathered together in the hills. I cannot wait to continue doing the portrait series that I've been doing. So hope to see you, and thanks for watching.